What we were doing till now? Anyone?
Transmission of heat.
Okay, transmission.
Conductivity, conduction.
Conductivity. So what are the different things on which this conduction of heat depends on? Or basically the conductivity depends on, or rate of flow of heat. Rate of flow of heat depends on what?
The flow of heat depends on the
Difference of temperature. Should I use theta?
delta T. Okay?
This is the temperature. Should I use theta or should I use T?
Delta T.
Okay.
T.
Okay. T minus T naught. It depends on the area of cross section.
Area of cross section.
It was something like this. So today we are going to do what? Rectilinear flow of heat along a bar. What does rectilinear means? What does rectilinear means? Any idea? Linear?
Linear.
So linear
Basically,
means straight.
straight, yeah. Basically, it's a flow of heat in a straight manner.
Straight.
Suppose you consider this as a hot medium. Now what will happen over here? This heat will start flowing from this direction, from hotter body to your colder region. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now let's consider these two regions. Suppose this is, let's call this plane P1. Why I'm calling it a plane? Why I'm calling this a plane? Because this is your bar. Clear? So your bar is three-dimensional. Now if I cut a bar, it will have, each face will have a plane. Is it clear or not? Is it clear? Now consider this. Let's say you have a bar of this shape. Clear? Suppose you have a bar of this shape and you cut it over here. You cut it on this region. Clear? Then the surface which will get is a plane. So that's why we are considering this as a plane P1 and plane P2. Let the temperature over here be theta and temperature over here will be theta plus d theta. This is the difference between, or the distance between these 2 points be delta x. And let's consider this as a distance of x, and we have considered this is a very small element. So this is a very small element which we have considered. And these are two planes P1 and P2. The temperature gradient at P1, let's just consider this region P1. The temperature gradient at P1 will be, what will be the temperature gradient at P1? Temperature is theta and the position is what? X. So it will be d theta by dx. Yes or no? Now similarly, we will consider the point P2. Again, the temperature gradient over here will be what will the temperature gradient will be over here? Or let's consider first what will be the temperature at P2.
Plus.
Temperature at P2, or less basically it's excess temperature, or temperature at P2 will be what? What was the temperature over here? At point P1 you had a temperature of theta. P2
Theta.
is basically what?
T plus theta.
It's theta plus
D theta.
d theta. Clear? Or can we write this in this fashion? Is this point clear or not? This thing. If your gradient is over here is exactly delta x, then what it will be? It will be delta x will cancel out, so it will end up with theta plus d theta. Or you can understand this in this manner also. The the temperature gradient at P1 was what? It was d theta by dx. So this is how the temperature moves from P1. Clear? So what will happen is, suppose if its temperature is theta, so it's theta plus d theta by dx, and how much it has moved is given by delta x. So this will be the temperature at this point P2. Let's consider a point P3, which is at twice of delta x. Then the temperature over there will be d theta by dx twice of delta x. So similarly, what we can do, we can put this temperature over here as this one. So heat flowing P1 in 1 second is, so the heat flowing in P1 in 1 second is how much? I think we have done this previously. Have we done this or not? Where K is a coefficient of conductivity. Is it clear till now? Is it clear? Why no one is answering? Deepika or Deep? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we'll continue. So actually, rectilinear flow of heat is basically how the heat flows through a bar or a linear medium. How the heat flows from one end to the other. Basically, what we have considered two planes, P1 and P2. The temperature over here was theta. So the temperature, let's consider this as delta x. Small region, this is the small distance between two planes. So if the temperature gradient at P1 is del theta by dx, this is how the temperature changes from this region to this region at P1. Then the temperature at P2 will be the temperature over here, theta. This is the excess temperature actually, plus d theta by dx times how much the heat has traveled. The heat has traveled how much? Delta x. And again, what we can write, as we have done it yesterday, this is the amount of heat flowing through P1 in 1 second. Actually, we used to have T over here, but it's the amount of heat flowing in 1 second. So we have put the value of T to be 1. So similarly, heat flowing through P2 is heat flowing through P2 in 1 second will be how much? Similarly, Q2 minus Ka, because this is the same material, so we are keeping this K and A same. And derivative of temperature. What was the temperature at that time? What was the temperature? It was theta plus d theta by dx times of delta x. So you can write Q2 as what? Negative Ka derivative of this theta plus d theta by dx delta x. Now these are your two equations. Now heat gained per second by the rod between P1 and P2. Now to get the heat gain per second by the rod between P1 and P2, what will you do? You will consider the heat over here and you will consider the heat over here and you will subtract these two. Then you will get a difference of heat in between. So Q2 minus Q1 will give you what? I think first term will just cancel out, or let's just write it explicitly. Dx of theta with negative sign, it will be positive. Into delta x. As you can see, the first term will cancel out. Ka dx of theta plus Ka d by dx of del theta by del x with delta x. Now this to cancel, this two term will cancel out. So the amount of heat gained will be how much? Ka. Now taking a derivative of this, you will get what? Del square theta by del x square into delta x. So here you will get a what? Second order differential equation. But on your left hand side is just if this quantity is known. Now what we have to do? Now we have to again make this into a differential equation. On the right hand side you have a second order, and on your left hand side you don't know what is this. So that's why what we have to do. Now the quantity of heat or the heat can flow in two ways. One is through what? The heat used per second to raise the temperature of the rod, which is given by what? Basically, one is through conduction and one is through radiation in this case. Let us consider rise in temperature of the bar B, because we know how the heat changes with respect to time. Rise in temperature of the bar B, what? D theta by dt. This is how it changes with time. This is how it changes with space, and this is how it changes with time. So the heat used per second to raise the temperature of the rod is how much? From Newton's law of cooling, you can get it. This is basically given by how much? Mass into specific heat, peak heat times of, basically this is your thermal capacity times rate of change of temperature. Previously, I think I was using T. Now I started using theta. It's fine. Now this theta is same as a temperature. So this will end up with what? M into C times of d theta by dt. This is one way in which the heat is getting transferred from one body to another. This is how the heat used to flow. Basically, previously we used to consider water, and we used to have a thermometer, and we used to note the temperature. This is how it changes with time. Now, second way is radiation. For radiation, I'm just going to write the term which you are going to learn later. Through radiation, it's given by what? E P delta x theta. Where this E is here, what? Emissive power. How much the radiation of particular material will do is given by this quantity. Now your P is your perimeter, and remaining are your same quantity as before. So first, this term, what we can write? mc d theta by dt. What we can write this as? Mass for this small element between P1 and P2. So what will be the mass over here? Let delta V or rho be a density, mass density, mass per unit volume. Then you can write ms what? This is delta x, and let A be your area of cross section. Then P can be your rho can be written as what? Mass is basically m divided by volume. What you can write? Delta x times area. This is your volume. Basically, you already know the area. This is your A. And if you multiply by just the height, let's say height or breadth or the width over here of delta x, then you will get the volume. So same thing we have done over here. So your mass will be rho A delta x. So what you can write it over here, this as rho A delta x C d theta by dt. This is how basically your heat get transferred with respect to time, how their heat changes with respect to time. And this is basically a term. Some of the energy will be lost through radiation. So this is the term which takes care of that. Basically, this is the power. Emissive power is basically a unit for different material. It will have different, for let's say some material radiate in a certain manner, so it will get colder faster. And P is your perimeter, and delta rho is basically the distance between your P1 and P2, and theta is the temperature at P1. So now if we compare these two equations, now your total heat will be what? Q will be or the heat lost per second will be what? Heat loss per second will be through this both of the medium. So it will be what? A, you have to just sum up these two. One was EP delta x Let's consider one by one. Plus, yes, second term was E P delta X rho. Now what we have to do, we have to substitute this in your previous equation. Substituting this into your previous equation, what you will get? On the left hand side, you will have delta A C d theta by dt. This was the amount of heat which was lost. Should be equal to how much? Ka del square theta by del x square delta x. Now, what you can do, you can multiply both sides with area. Then it will be what? Rho delta x c del theta by dt plus E P by A delta x theta should be equal to K del square theta by del x square into delta x. And also you can do is, you can get rid of this deltas. And finally, you will end up with what? You will end up with second order differential equation. EP divided by A theta equal to A. Or usually how do people write is, this is written on your left hand side. Now this equation is called what? Fourier differential equation. Fourier's differential equation. Now you can see that it is a what? Partial differential equation, because it has how many? Two variables. One is your x position and one is your time, which has a second order in space and first order in time. Now this is the general equation that represents the rectilinear flow of heat along a bar of uniform area cross-section area. So this differential equation gives how your heat flows in a linear bar of uniform cross-section area. Is it clear? Now today's task is just to what? Formulate this differential equation. Now tomorrow what we have to do is we have to try to solve this differential equation. But before that, we will try some of the different cases.